Yo, this is the TP and I'm back. Kamala Harris is done. Her political career is over due to the fact that she squandered, I believe, $1.5 billion on her campaign and actually went into $20 million in debt. Now, her campaign finance leader, I believe her name is Linda Lee, pretty much now has to go back to these donors who donated this money and tell them why the money was squandered. Now, you would think that's something that Kamala would do. However, I believe that her running mate, Tim Walz, actually said something. And also, a lot of the staffers were not paid. So I believe Tim Walz actually had to go back to the donors and ask for more money in order to pay these staffers, while Kamala was in Hawaii. So there was an interview on TV where one of the donors were pretty much saying, hey, a lot of people that sent in money wasn't for Kamala, they're donating against Trump. They knew that she couldn't win. However, they were sold on the fact that she could win by the people running her campaign. Now, here's the thing. The campaign, Kamala's campaign, still has not taken responsibility for this mishap in spending. They're pretty much saying, hey, we did a great job and everything was good and all these things. So, with that being said, there are rumors that she wants to run in either 2028 or she wants to run for the California governor position. How do you think she's going to get her money now, knowing that she squandered $1.5 billion within, I believe, 3 months? She ran for 107 days and squandered $1.5 billion and then went into debt on top of that. And the guy in the interview made an interesting point. He said, if you can't run a campaign, you can't run a country. That's facts. And this would have been typical if she was elected. That she would have destroyed this country financially, at the very least financially. And this is why when you are voting, it's always good to have someone with outside experience that has working experience. And this is actually one of my requirements. If I was to add something or was to have input on a qualification of a president as opposed to just the age and him or her being a natural citizen, I would say, hey, you got to have at least 10, 15 years of private industry experience. Now, so you can understand how the real world works. No career politician should be in those positions because they don't know how the real world works. They may understand it in theory, but they also understand that when you're working with a unlimited resources, money, which you can pretty much print, when the government, you don't care about getting the best deal. You just, that's why there's a lot of bloat in the government, because people know that the money's always coming. But when you're working in a business where funds are limited, you want to work within that. And if there's any wasteful spending in a company, they're going to find out and ask you about that. And they're going to say, hey, how can we cut this going forward? That's what a business does. As a businessman, you're looking for the best deal, you're looking for the best ROI, and all those type of things. In government, you don't care about those things. And that's part of the reason why when Trump gets to office, they're going to look at, where the government is spending, wasting all this money, and then fix it. So we can run it like a corporation, because the United States is a corporation. Okay? So you need a businessman that has that type of experience, that executive experience, to run a country, to understand the ins and outs, understand, okay, this money can be used here, or we don't need this, we need to cut this out. Just like any type of business, when you have a merger or you're looking to make cuts, you look at where the bloat is and you cut it, make it more efficient. So then you can start becoming profitable. Not to say the government's in the business to become profitable. However, they're in the business of making sure they use their money correctly, especially the taxpayers' money correctly and efficiently. Okay? So, again, this is an example. We dodged a bullet. Hey, we dodged a bullet here by not electing her. Because she doesn't know how to handle money, obviously. She doesn't know how to run a campaign. And then when things mess up, she still doesn't take accountability for squandering of the money. I mean, there is an itemized list of things that she spent money on that she didn't have to spend. I believe it was a small set in the hotel room. I believe it was with one of those YouTube influencers. I forget the name. I think it's Call Me Daddy. They built a small set, cost six figures. A businessman looked at it and said, I could have done that for like around $5,000. Wow. Okay, you spent money on celebrities to come speak for your campaign. Okay, Oprah Winfrey, you gave her 2.5, I believe, total. Now, is Oprah Winfrey one that typically gives money to campaigns and not take money? I believe she did it for other politicians that were running, but she's taking money from Kamala. But I believe Roland Martin took money from Kamala. Okay, so a lot of people took money and actually got rich on his campaign. Was his campaign really a Ponzi scheme? Or was this someone really wanting to run for president? I'm getting the impression that this campaign was more of a money grab than anything. It was a Ponzi scheme to get other people rich off the backs of a so-called presidential run. That's what I think it was. And the thing is, the people that gave to this campaign, y'all look silly. Now, I know y'all gave money and y'all, gave money under the best intentions, wanting what you wanted. However, you was made a fool of. And I believe that you will be a fool next time when someone runs, you want to give them money. Okay? Trump, he didn't have the budget. He had pretty much a fraction of the budget or the campaign donations that Kamala had. I think he was like 340 something million, whatever. And he spent under that. Okay? While she was spending like crazy. So, who would you rather have running this country? Just based on the fiscal responsibility alone.